Hey folks, quick post-recording note up top. This episode was originally recorded as a Patreon exclusive, but we've decided to release it to everyone so you can see what a subscription gets you. Welcome behind the paywall. We hope you enjoy. Hello, world builders, and welcome back to the tavern. As you will have seen from the title of this episode, we are doing an extra special episode today. We are doing a world building workshop. What's that, you may be asking? A world building workshop is a new type of episode that we're going to be introducing in season 3 of the podcast, and they are going to be for all of our $5 a month and above patrons. So if you subscribe for $5 a month, you're going to get one of these in your feed every month. And they are a live, pre-recorded, but live to us, world building exercise. So every month, one of us is going to pick a topic, and then all three of us are going to together build that world thing. So it'll give you a set of questions that you can ask yourself when you're building your world, and you'll also be able to use the things that we world build if you like them and you want to put them in your story or game or whatever you're doing. So 2-for-1 content.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right in. Please enjoy. And like I said, these are our first ones. So if you have any feedback on what would make these more helpful for you, definitely get in touch because we want these to be as useful as possible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And today I'm going to be handing it over now to Allie because Allie is going to be bringing us through our world building exercise. So Allie, what are we building?
Anyone who knows me is not surprised that we are going to be building a magic system.
Heck yeah.
Yay!
We're starting off with like the most complicated thing to build.
Yeah, the most complex, very broad, but I have 5 steps, 5 questions that we're going to go through. So it's not going to like give you an entire, very detailed, but it'll be somewhere to start, which is really what you want.
How to build your basic magic system.
Yes.
And then go from there.
Ideas to get started with. So we're going to jump right in to question 1, step 1. What is the basis of the magic? And by that I mean, is it nature magic? Is it time, space, the 4 elements like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Is it based on color? So you're
taking all of the options.
I mean, we can pick one of the ones that I picked. Yeah. We can pick whatever we want. I personally have always wanted to design a magic system based on color, so I'm leaning towards that.
Color could be fun.
Open to other ideas.
I'm also thinking books, because I see probably just because I see a bunch of books behind you. I'm like,
yes,
book-based magic system could be kind of fun.
More wizardish. Witchcraft with all the bric-a-brac is also very fun and interesting.
A trinket-based magic system. That's kind of cool.
I love trinkets.
Ooh, I kind of like trinket. Okay, I'm switching. I want to do a trinket-based magic system. Like that sounds really fun.
Yeah. If anyone is, I don't know if we're going to post all of this in video, but if anyone can see behind me, I have all the trinkets in the world. Yes. So obviously.
What is it? Goblin core? Is that, I think you described it as like a goblin core aesthetic?
Someone described that to me.
I have a little growlith. Does that count as a trinket?
I think
that's a trinket. For anybody, if we're not posting this in video, Allie just held up a Growlithe Funko Pop. That is adorable. Yes. That's absolutely a trinket.
I do like the idea of trinket-based magic, actually, a lot.
Okay, let's go with trinkets.
Because as you're going along your journey, you collect new little trinkets, which give you new powers.
So I pick up something on my journey. I find a cool feather.
Yeah.
And somehow that becomes magic, or it already is.
Ooh.
For me, I was kind of thinking, I was like, what if they had like I don't know, what if they're okay. Now the trouble is I'm also thinking of all of the other magic systems that I know. So like this may be too similar to another magic system, so let me know if it is. But I feel like
you're gonna always have some similarities.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like maybe there's like, I don't know, magical spirits attached to them, and it's kind of like I don't know, kind of like a genie lamp or something, but like not quite. But it's like, you know, you have a magical spirit attached to like this thing, like or a ghost or like whatever.
I like that.
I thought the opposite. I was going straight like divination almost in a sense, right? Where the person already has the magic within them, but they're able to channel the energy of that object, whether it's magical or not.
Okay, 2 very good paths.
Ooh.
So like picking up a particularly shiny, fancy rock, maybe that could be channeled to being like presenting yourself in a certain way, or the fortitude of a rock itself.
Ooh. Ooh, that's kind of fun too, because I feel like that it's also up to the interpretation of the magic user. If one person sees the like hardness of a rock, they would channel like the hardness, or if one person sees like the shininess of the rock, they would channel like the shininess. Oh, that's also kind of fun. Every time someone else suggests something, I'm like, ooh, that's fun too.
I'm on board.
I like both of them, but when Emma said spirits, I immediately thought of like Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle, and having like this thing that you sort of have to convince to work with you or like befriend, and maybe it doesn't like you, and then you can't do very much magic with it.
Oh, I
if
like
you
that.
Befriend it,
I do. I
or
like
if you force it, then you could like maybe do more powerful magic, but it could also backfire on you. Whereas if you like befriend it, it's like maybe the magic's not as powerful, but like it's also like it could go wrong. Oh yes, that does make me also now like the spirits again.
Yeah,
I feel like whoever talked last, I'm like, yes, I agree.
No, I agree too, though, because like you do have like between the two, the like you can channel what your interpretation of that little trinket is and use that maybe certain. But also, I think that might be kind of fun because almost if you combine the two to some extent.
I was just thinking that,
if I got a gold locket, I would think wealth, right? Like I would think, oh, maybe this is like something that I could use for spells to like attract wealth to me. But the locket itself might say, no, it's more important to me that there's an image inside of it. Right?
I was thinking combining it of almost like what the object is determines what you can do, and then the spirit determines like how much power you have, kind of. So it's like you can use it based on like what the object is, but then depending on the spirit attached to it, that's like your like level. But I like that too, of like it's also the spirit, like it's a conversation. You have to like negotiate.
I like
with
the
magic.
idea of like this greedy little gold spirit who's always like, we gotta get more money, like we're not rich enough, and like trying to convince you to do magic based on its goals.
But also that would create a really interesting, again, going back to the gold locket thing, maybe the gold locket spirit is like, we want more gold, we need more gold.
Yeah.
And the story is with the character saying, no, actually you're a keeper of memories. Like you have a lot of sentimental
and you can like
value.
change it. Maybe you can change
almost
the magic.
Negotiate with them and convince the spirit to be a little different.
Also, and then then that made me think like, oh, well, what's going to stop me from having like 8,000 trinkets? And then I kind of thought maybe it's kind of like attunement in D&D where you can only have so many. So maybe it's like the first 5 trinkets you encounter becomes your magic, and you never know what's going to be a trinket or not. So like if you get 5 things that are like not the kind of magic you want to do, too bad, you're already attached to them. You just got to figure out how to negotiate with them or something. Or maybe you can have 8,000 trinkets, but that seems like it would get kind of overwhelming.
It's sort of like having several voices in your head.
Yeah.
So the more you get, like the crazier you might get.
Oh, yeah.
So like you could have 100 trinkets, but
that's
then
100
you might
people.
Be real crazy.
You have so many things, So, or maybe you get like paralyzed, like with choice, and you just can't do anything.
So most wizards probably wouldn't, just because that would be ridiculous.
And I could see them like picking up and trading trinkets and stuff like that, because it's like this trinket doesn't like me. I think it might like this person. I can make a trade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Could you steal trinkets? And then I guess it would depend on if the trinket wanted to be stolen.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like One Ring-ish from Lord of the Rings. It's like, what if there was a bunch of One Rings and they were all small and petty?
Well, like imagine picking up stealing a trinket and it was like, no, I loved the person who had me prior. I'm not doing anything for you.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm not doing a single
or I'm going to
thing.
backfire.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to try to win them over? Or and convince
or you just like
them,
return it,
or just return it, or trade it to someone else, or whatever.
Yeah. So I feel like it can't be every single object has a spirit in it, right? Like it has to be rarer than that.
Yeah. So maybe it just depends. The spirits just get to pick. So I guess where do the spirits come from? Like what's the limiter on like?
Or maybe there has to be a particular event surrounding an object.
Maybe that's where the combination of the two comes in. Maybe you find like a bone in the forest and you can like channel that to help you a little bit with fortitude. But if you find a bone in the forest that does have a spirit, that's infinitely more powerful and meaningful.
Yeah. Are the spirits ghosts? Like, do we think these are dead people, or are they like magic beings, like a fae, or like a
magic.
The ether?
I like
magic beings.
Magic beings.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've got magic beings that are inhabiting little trinkets.
Yeah.
Cute. Very cute. So then it's like what why do they choose that trinket? What about them is like, I like this thing? I guess just depending on what their temperament is.
Or are these spirits created when something like particularly, I don't know, emotional,
like a traumatic
now
event,
it's like
almost they're imbued on it. Yeah.
Now it's like sprites from Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings story is like similar to that, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
So I'm imagining like maybe a particularly violent death around an object creates like
the soul becomes imbued in the knife that killed them. Yeah.
Or like a really great proposal and love between two people makes this wedding ring a trinket.
I almost think it should be something like more trivial, because when I think like trinkets and stuff, like they're clearly like smaller things.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's true.
And also I feel like that's kind of fun, because I feel like there's a lot of systems where it's like, someone has to die gruesomely and then this thing is magic. But like, is there a small mundane event that could create a trinket or something?
It could be both, and that could be the level of the power it provides you. Right? Like there are some trinkets that are just, this was like I'm thinking of, I have like a little deer sculpture that my grandma had that I played with all the time when I was a kid. That has so much nostalgia for me, and to anyone else it's a little plastic deer. You know what I mean? So there's some power in it, but it might not be as powerful as my grandma's wedding band.
What if it's just something someone
emotional
loves?
attachment? like Velveteen Rabbit, like it becomes real if you care about it enough. So any like item that has significance, and then it's like kind of like you never know when. It's like you wake up one day and the object's like now magical, because now it's like
a spirit
and that's maybe
was attracted to it because of how much you love this thing.
There'd be so many like stuffed animals that would be magical. Now I'm picturing this like really dark wizard clutching 5 teddy bears that he's accumulated.
Stuffies.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Okay, so it's little spirits that are now, are they created? Like, is this a thing that's like called into being, or are they like called from another plane or something? Are they just like attracted to it by these like emotional connections?
Those are both good.
Yeah. I lean towards
I kind of feel like they're attracted to it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Immediately two opposite ends. I only think called to it because that automatically makes it like a finite amount of magic. Like
that's
there's
true.
Only so many of these little spirits.
It's better for limiting.
I think I like called to it also because then you're sort of imagining these spirits sort of may all come with personalities and stuff already. And some of them might be more adults. Yeah. And they're not like just being born and don't know anything about the world, Like they could be attracted to like a knife that somebody used to kill somebody because like they were then very like attached to that knife, clearly, because it was like a big important moment for them. And then like what kind of spirit would be attached to that type of energy, right?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Or little mundane
You've convinced me. I like that idea. I also like the idea of like a sort of Mount Olympus almost situation where there's a whole bunch of gods just waiting to be called to an object. To get out of
like, when do I get out of this plane?
And I feel like
the world.
And I feel like that would be a part of the magic system we wouldn't build. It wouldn't be like, oh, how do the spirits decide which one of them are going? Because I feel like people wouldn't necessarily know that. Like it would just be like, oh, they have their own way of deciding who goes when, sort of.
But that's
thing.
like a book 5 reveal or something.
Yeah. When they travel to the spirit realm and they're interacting with the spirits, and they see the long queue with everybody has their like number of like when they get to go into an object. This has been like, we've been on, is this your first question still?
I'm gonna just touch on the second question because we've kind of already answered it. So second question is, what are the limits of the magic? So we've touched on this a little bit in that the more trinkets you carry, the more voices you would be hearing.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a limit. But then also maybe we could discuss, what does the magic actually do? Like, how powerful is this?
I think there might be a couple other limits. Like I'm thinking also if the trinket was like physically destroyed, then that would like release the spirit.
Yep. I like that.
Unless I guess if the magic like made the magic item like indestructible, but I think
that would
maybe it's like kind of like Supernatural where you have to like burn the thing for the spirit to
I think like it's a one-time use.
I think just straight up it
no like if you want
better.
If you wanted to destroy an item, like you by another wizard, like
you have to burn
you would have to put it into fire because fire is,
No, I think that's a fun limit where it's like you could have the most like overpowered spirit with you, but if it's a tiny scrap of lace,
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's
keep
like,
that thing preserved.
keep it preserved,
Yeah.
because as soon as it's destroyed,
yeah.
they're
But
back
then
to the
also if you
spirit
preserve it,
realm.
you can't like use it, right?
Yeah.
So then that's also that like conundrum of like,
I think that adds more stakes. Yeah.
because it probably also like the older something is, maybe the more powerful it is, but then the more
Wait, you don't
fragile
think
it
you could
is.
like keep the lace in a plastic baggie? Like it doesn't have to be out.
I think you have to touch it. Like I think to actually use
yeah.
it, you have to be like holding it. So it's
I would
like,
agree.
yeah,
I
it's
think
not
you
going to
have
do a lot of
hold
damage,
it.
but like over time,
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'd probably count it as like destroyed if it's like once it's no longer recognizable as that object, like
As
once
a
you wouldn't
thing.
have the attachment to it anymore. It's
Yeah,
like,
you can't
or
keep the
it does,
single
if someone
thread.
stops caring about it, does that also get rid of the magic? Like, you know, if it's like a stuffed animal.
I think the caring would be like, so this could have been a stuffed animal of a kid who loved this thing. That kid is now dead, but that love carries on, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought you were gonna say like they've grown up, and you're just they dead.
No, they grew up and died of old age. Very, very ripe life. They, you know, they did lots of good deeds. They had a great life. They died.
They were surrounded by their 80 grandchildren.
But that object retains the spirit.
I would agree.
That love goes on.
Right. The caring is just for the creation, not the like sustaining of the magic.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. But I do think you have to like be physically in contact with it. So like if it's like your dad's favorite ball cap, depending on what time or universe this is set in. If it's your dad's favorite ball cap and he passed away when you were young and that has like intense sentimental value to you, you'd have to be like wearing the ball cap to access the magic kind of thing.
Although, speaking of like later books reveal, I could see that being a climactic thing where like the villain has stolen your ball cap and is wearing on your head, but then the ball cap and you have like such an intense connection that you're able to like
flies off his head and
even
back
though
onto
you're
your
not.
head.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah. That like epic.
Like
it's
epic.
Fun.
Also, I'm wondering if you channel, like if you try and do too much magic, would that also destroy it? Or is it just like the limits are either like it can do it or
I
it
think
can't do it?
I would say the limits
channel extra.
The limits are based off of the spirit possessing it to some extent.
The spirit rather than the object.
So there might be some objects that you have that where it's like, I don't know, it gives you fresh water. That's all it does. It's not like super useful in a battle, but it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a pitcher that your grandma always used in the kitchen and a spirit who's like, I just want to make sure people are hydrated.
Yeah.
Takes over it, which is still a very useful thing.
So sweet.
But that's the limit of it versus like, oh, I inherited this rifle that was used in a war and there's a really powerful god in it. It's like a god slayer rifle kind of thing. Like, I think it depends on
you can
the
destroy
spirit.
other trinkets with it. Yeah. Is there, I guess also in terms of limits, is there limits to like what these spirits can do? Like, is it that they just interact with the material world or they just like create things? Or is it kind of like anything you can think of, there might be a spirit that can do it?
I don't enjoy stories where someone is too powerful. So I do think there
like
needs
Superman.
to be, exactly. Like, I'm sorry to all the Superman fans out there. I just think he's so powerful that the stakes never feel super high. And then it creates this situation where people are constantly having to find kryptonite and all this. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It feels like not as exciting.
I also find Superman boring, but I know that the interesting thing about him is the limits that do exist. So kryptonite is one of them, but also like his moral code,
his personality, his like
weaknesses and strengths. So just remember, if you build a very, very strong magic system, then you also need weaknesses in it and your characters.
Yeah. Which we have. We
That
have
can
quite
be
a few
exploited.
limits, like the physical contact and the fact that they can be physically destroyed.
I feel like we could build layers of here are the levels of spirits if we wanted. I don't know if we need to do that, but that could be a thing for this magic system. Like, oh, this is a level one spirit can make water or like do some, do little things,
interact with the elements. A level 2 one, or like a level 1 could like move things that already exist. A level 2 could like create things that don't exist yet. A level 3 can destroy things, or like something. You could have some sort of tier
you could have
like that.
Something like that if you wanted to go much more in depth. Or you could just do sort of like kind of like a superpowers type system where it's like whatever you can think of.
Yeah.
You know,
kind of like what we were talking about, where it's like how you interpret the object. Like, so I guess that would be kind of interesting because it would be like you're limited by your imagination. So the more creative you are, the more like you could maybe convince a spirit to do something.
Of, like My Hero Academia, where like almost everyone has a superpower in that world, but some of them are just really mundane things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can make a plant flower or something, you know, like.
Oh, I know so many people who would love that superpower.
Yeah,
I would. I'm thinking of the plants on my balcony that are currently flowering, and I think it as no, they're doing good. I'm like, I have a superpower.
Yeah.
You already had that superpower. Yeah, very nice.
There are tons of like little helpful things that maybe like normal people would have a trinket to help them do, but then you would have your like more hero or villain characters.
That's how I view it too. Like it's really dependent on the spirit and like their motivation
running, like,
too.
Experiments,
right? Because
and so you would have people who are just going about living their life and maybe come across a trinket that does something,
waters their garden or like stirs their pot on the stove while they're doing other stuff.
Yep.
Like an infused wooden spoon. Oh my god, I would lose my mind for like a spirit infused wooden spoon that just like stirs everything. Too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's like,
and then you would have trinket chasers or like the wizards who go
collectors
for powerful
like Disney pin collectors. Some people want to use them. Some people just want to have them and like not use them.
A good villain would be like someone who's like collecting these spirits and just putting them in a museum, and the spirits are like
behind
in prison.
Glass. Yeah.
They're so sad and they just want to be rescued.
Someone who just hunts down trinkets to sell them, like a black market.
Or destroy them. Yeah. Oh yeah, black. Or someone trying, or like then you'd always have like fake trinkets, people trying to like hawk their like counterfeit trinkets. Or I'm thinking also like Full Metal Alchemist, like someone doing experiments and trying to like combine two objects together and like
spirits or like
and like does that work, does that not work, how do the spirits feel about that? There's so many cool things.
A chimera that's in very much pain.
Daddy
no.
Anybody who's watched Full Metal is scarred. I'm so sorry. was that question 2?
Yes, so question 3 is, what are the costs and consequences of using magic?
Oh, that's true. We don't really have any of those, do we? It could use up the object.
Yeah, where it's like you're using up the object, you could break the object. You have to go
it's
find
related
them.
To limits. But also sort of like, what does it do to a person? So I really like the psychological consequences of maybe having too many. That's really fun to me. That's kind of a cost.
Yeah.
I could also see people getting like too attached to their spirits and like not getting attached to other people, because it's like, oh well, my best friend is this locket, why would I need like human contact? I'm just gonna like so like I could see that, like an unhealthy relationship with your spirit.
Flip side of that, like having a trinket that's super powerful but is so mean to you. Right?
Yeah,
like
like an abusive relationship with your
trinket. Like you have a sword that can slay gods, that can do anything, but every second of every day it's saying, you're garbage, you're nothing.
Or
you're
it's
nothing.
like
you're
gaslighting you. You're like, no, that didn't happen. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Or trinkets that try and like seek out kids because they're like easier to manipulate, and so you have like a trinket in this like stuffed animal that's like telling the kid to like, I don't know, steal stuff or break stuff or be bad or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's a big thing, is the idea of the trinkets having their own personality. You can find a trinket. Maybe it's just a bad spirit though. So do you want it? Do you want this water jug to make water for you? Maybe the water jug is constantly telling you to pour it over your friends and family's faces while they're sleeping or something, you know?
It wants you to put their hand in the water jug.
And the hot water while they're sleeping so they pee themselves. A trickster trinket. I'd love a trickster trinket.
It's a piss spirit.
It's a piss spirit. It's like, I exist to make people wet the bed. Yeah.
So this sort of treads the line of slavery a little bit, because these spirits are sort of attached to these objects. So what
although they
happens
do
if you
choose.
mistreat them?
Yeah. could they leave or are they... Oh, I guess that was the thing we haven't discussed. Can they leave a
leave?
trinket of their own free will, or once they're attached to a
Ooh.
trinket, are they
I want
stuck
to say
until
it's
it's
more
destroyed?
interesting if they can't.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I
I think so too. It's like a
Yeah.
gamble on their part. Like they get to
Yeah.
enter the human world, but they could be mistreated or
Yeah.
Or
something.
stuck. They could be stuck on a shelf for 200 years and
Yeah,
never used.
yeah. Maybe they never
Yeah.
get to see anything cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like in this system, there's not like a physical cost to the user. Like I feel like it doesn't take like years off your
Yeah.
life or like make you
No,
sick or
I don't think
anything. I think
so.
it's more of these like psychological
Mm-hmm.
costs. Oh yeah, the cost to the
Yes.
spirit is very interesting. That's very cool. That is almost like a
Yeah.
calcifer thing
Mhm.
of the like being stuck in a certain form and you can't leave.
Yeah, and I'm debating like would there be any sort of way for the free spirits of the other realm to like come get
Ooh.
retribution if their kin are being mistreated?
Oh, I think
Like, I don't
think
know.
they'd still have to attach themselves to an object, but maybe then they try and
Yeah.
manipulate the
Yes.
humans, right? So maybe that's
Yes.
where
To
it's like, or are they
go,
fighting
yeah.
a war, like, or
Or
something?
even if it's once the trinket is destroyed, the spirit is free. So say there's a spirit that's attached to, I don't know, a tchotchke on a shelf, right? And it just wants to be free. How would it convince the person who has the trinket to put them in a situation where it's destroyed?
Like you're thinking they're free in
So
the
they
human
can free
world. I was thinking they would
themselves.
just go back to the spirit world, but that would be interesting.
No,
yeah,
I think they
for
would go
them,
back to the spirit world, maybe. But like
Yeah.
even that, if it's like, oh, I'm really, hung up
I don't
on
like
this
this
on this
anymore.
little
Yeah.
porcelain lamb that
Yeah.
some baba has on her shelf, but all I do is sit on the shelf and listen to her, and there's nothing happening. How can I convince this 85-year-old woman to go take me out on an adventure that would destroy
Yeah.
me so I
Yeah.
could go back and try again, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or there might be some spirits who are really happy just
Yeah.
being with the 80-year-old.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
just
that too.
doing
Yeah.
knitting or whatever.
Oh, you could also, I could see you having like a really depressed spirit that like someone inherits it and the spirit just like won't communicate with them and they realize it's because they're really
Oh,
sad because their like
yeah.
85-year-old like friend died. Although then I was thinking, can the spirit talk to somebody who is not its like current owner? Like if you have that bond, can they only, I'm thinking maybe they only talk to the person
think
that they're
they
like,
only
I think
bonded
they
talk
can
to the
only
owner.
communicate with the bonded.
So I think that
person,
makes
yeah.
it, that's the interesting thing about magic is it's like the more limits you put on something, the more interesting it
It
is.
is,
Like
yeah.
if it's too free reign, it's no longer interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
because
kind of
I could
fun.
imagine like a very like lonely person collecting trinkets just to have someone to talk to.
Aw, that's
Like
so
with
sad.
that,
That's so
it's so
sweet.
sad.
Yeah,
It's
these
such
are
a-
all my friends.
So you could have a totally different story. You could have someone who's kind of like a little
Yeah.
bit of a recluse who just collects trinkets to have friends, or you could have someone
Yeah.
who's like, I'm hunting down the
Oh.
most powerful spirits to defeat the big evil kind of thing.
There's like so many genres already. So you
Yeah.
could do a cozy fantasy, you could do an
Yeah.
epic, you could
Yeah.
do a horror, you could do
Yeah.
a romance, someone who like falls in love with their lamp or
Oh
something, and
my
they like have this
God.
forbidden
Oh.
romance.
That
Oh,
would
I
be
didn't
so
think of
good.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we need our listeners. Each of you pick a genre. We need 10 different stories with this magic.
Yeah.
With this magic system.
Amazing.
It's very fun. Okay, question 4 is an easy one for this
Ooh.
magic system. It's who can use the magic? And I'm thinking anybody.
Anyone.
Anyone who
Anybody?
comes
I
up
think
with
so.
a trinket.
Yeah.
This question might be different depending on your magic system. You might be like, oh, only elves
Old
can use magic
people.
in my story. Only
Yeah.
old people. Oh, I love it. Once you hit like 40, then your magic
40
gifts
is
comes
not
in.
old.
I was
bro.
thinking like 80. I was
Yeah.
thinking like 80
40 is
people.
not old.
Yeah.
I say
So
that
you have
because
all
Ellie,
these
according
old-
to you, I'm going to be old in 10 years.
Yeah, I
so
was
that's
gonna say.
terrifying.
we're
I'm
all
gonna hit
creeping
that
up on ours.
first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 80-year-old.
Yeah.
You have all these old granny wizards. That would be
Oh,
amazing.
I would love that.
You come of age at 80 and get to go on
Yeah.
like your magic. That's a
Your
whole other
magic
magic
quest.
system. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
this
we're
is
like
a whole
off on-
another. Anyway, just saying that question might
Yeah.
be more complicated
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah.
the magic system. But for us, it's an easy one.
Anyone.
Anybody. And then our final question, question 5. How does society view mages?
Ooh. Well, since it's anybody, that makes it a
Since
little
it's
bit.
anybody, I feel like mages are just a normal part of
I
life.
think it's
Yeah,
a
they're
normal
just
part of
everywhere.
life, but certain trinkets are looked down upon. So, like weapons, if your trinket is
Yeah.
a weapon, oh, you must be up to no good. Your trinkets are all daggers and knives.
Mm.
Ooh, you're scary.
Well, and you also
kind of
might
thing.
have like famous named trinkets. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
like-
Bob the Sword.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the worst.
Or, like,
you know,
yeah.
even like
or they saved something.
for the rich,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you have a Fabergé egg. Like, I know that's like a real thing
Mm.
in real life, but it's like, oh, you're bougie.
Yeah.
You got the bougie
Yeah.
trinkets. You're like doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it would be like how we treat possessions in our current society to some
Yeah.
extent.
I think people
right?
have a lot of preconceived notions based on what your trinkets are.
Yeah.
Whereas that wouldn't necessarily be true because, like, a dagger could be sentimental to somebody because their dad handed it down to them. And so it's all
Yeah.
about, like, love and warmth.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, oh, yeah, you have a dagger. You're clearly, like, violent and whatever.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, like, preconceived notions.
Yeah.
I also think there'd be certain people who don't like them because they think it's, like, unnatural or, like, lazy or something. It's like,
Cheating.
oh, you need
Yeah.
a trinket to, like, do this? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Or then there are people who like you shouldn't have more than one trinket. Like that's weird.
Yeah.
Why are you like listening to a bunch of
Oh,
different
and then there would be
voices?
like your people who are like, free the spirits.
Oh, like PETA,
trinkets.
magical PETA.
Yeah.
Trinket
Oh,
PETA.
totally.
It's trinkets is slavery.
Yeah. Oh, and then of course you have the hypocritical people saying like, oh, nobody should own trinkets, but then of course they have a whole house of trinkets at home.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet they're also trying to be regulation about, I guess depending what time period you set it in, but like regulation, like, oh, people who are like young shouldn't have trinkets. Like you shouldn't be allowed to have a trinket until you're like a certain age
Until
or
you're
something.
like a certain age. Yeah.
Or maybe different cultures. Maybe there's like a ceremony in some cultures where you like get your first trinket and it's like,
It's
here's
like
your like.
from the community. Like the community
so
decides
sweet.
for
Yeah.
you what the trinket is going to be. It could be very sweet or it could be very menacing, right?
Yeah.
Someone is assigning a trinket to you.
This is a very fun question when you're building a world that is divided into different nations or continents or something, because different societies may view mages differently. So it's not like everyone's going to look at them the same. Like one country might be like, oh, trinkets are outlawed here. And one country might be like, man, trinkets are everywhere.
You have to have
They're
a
great.
trinket to
You
participate
have
in
to
society.
have one
Yeah.
to get into this club or whatever, this country even, or, you know, like whatever.
People who do have trinkets and people who don't have trinkets are treated differently too. That's another option.
Yeah.
Like people who do
people
have
could pretend
trinkets.
to have trinkets if you like never got one. You were like
Ooh,
pretending
yeah, you
that
could
your
just,
locket
like,
is a
talk
trinket.
to your thing.
This ring is totally a trinket. Hey, what's up?
Totally magic. Yeah.
Do something magic then, bro. Like, prove it.
Yeah. Ooh, can trinkets, this is a little bit different now, I'm thinking about, could trinkets sense other trinkets? Like, could your trinket be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a spirit, or like it's not? I feel like you would be able to. And then I guess, could the spirits talk to each other? Because they can't talk to other people, but could spirits talk to each other?
I don't know if they could talk to each other, but I think they could sense one another. I think that would make a more interesting story.
I would lean to.
Where it's like, if you have a ring that's like the trinket and you say, I need to avenge my father. I need to find the sword of Glihan or whatever it is. And the trinket is directing you. Maybe the ring can't talk to the sword, but the ring can at least be like, we're close. I can sense it. I know we're coming up soon.
Like it's pinging. Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that trinkets of the same owner could talk to each other.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that would make sense.
I think
they're all
that'd
in the
be
head
like a
together. They're all like
family,
hanging out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
because
sense.
imagine like go into a dungeon and your ring is like, no, this is a bad idea. And your sword is like, no, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the
there's another
locket-
avenue of tension.
And then the locket around your neck is like, I don't know. I'm really scared of this. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you could have trinkets that don't like each other.
Exactly.
Yes, I was
Just
just thinking
like
that.
Yeah.
Or like trinket romances. I'm going back to like inside your head, two other
that's
people
cute.
are like
Yeah,
romancing each other.
And then-
that's adorable.
And there's another like cost, because like you have to get one spirit on your side. Now you have to get 100 spirits to all agree with each other to want to do something. Like, my goodness.
Also, that could be really awkward if two spirits are getting like horny in your head.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
yeah. Or if they're exes, you get two spirits that broke up. And they're like,
But I'm also thinking like, what if your two most powerful trinkets fall in love with each other in your head and they're like, destroy us so we could be together.
we want to go back and
We want to go back to the spirit realm together and actually be together. And then you have to decide between your power and their love. Like, that would be.
Oh my goodness, that's adorable. Okay.
So
I
many
feel like
good
that's
things.
a good note to end on.
Yeah. Should we do a summary of our magic system? Because we've been like all over the place.
So, trinket-based magic system where spirits are attracted to these objects that have emotional attachment, and I don't know, we've discussed so many rules that you would need to listen to the whole episode.
They can be destroyed and then they go back to the spirit realm. They can be destroyed
and then the spirit will go back to the spirit realm. Anyone can have a trinket, anyone can use magic. This is like a very superpowered society world. I think this is so much fun. I would love to read a story in this world.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So someone please use it.
Please.
We will post the 5 questions in the text of this post, so if you want to look at the questions we asked and design your own magic system, you're welcome to. I want to design like a bunch more magic systems now. This is really fun.
Cut to us putting out 8 episodes of just magic
systems. Yes. So now you have a magic system you can use or questions to make your own.
This has been a super great first world building workshop, I think.
Yeah.
I think we've been very successful. So yeah, that took us about 40 minutes and we have come up with a basic magic system. And like we talked about, we could go more in depth. Like I'm sure if we were writing this for an actual novel, we might actually go into like those tiers of like what the magic spirits could do. We might hammer it out a little bit more, but we have a pretty good skeleton for a magic system, which is awesome. So if you are inspired by this and you want to create your own magic system, but you maybe have questions or you want to talk it out, we actually have a community on Discord. We are the World Builders Tavern on Discord, and we are basically set up for exactly that. We encourage discussion about magic systems, about writing, about reading. So if you're looking for people to bounce ideas off of, you should definitely join us there. So yeah, thank you for tuning into our first ever World Builders workshop. And until next time, see ya.
Get at it.
Bye.